Okay, so let's record this. Yes. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Some people might need this information. Okay, so this is about the final test question on Martin Luther King. What I want to hear there about comment on love as a force, right? What I want to hear there is really what does he is this notion in Martin Luther King that you'll read, of course, that for him love is not just a fuzzy feeling. Love is actually can have transformative impact, right? And not only on the level of the relationship like we saw in Kierkegaard, but on socially, in the political arena, in the social arena, love actually can have an impact. So I want you to talk about how that works, because this is something we don't often think about, right?
Can you repeat, Professor?
Yeah, love as a source for social change, right? How does that work? How is he describing it? Is he being, naive? Does it work? Examples, right? Let me write this in the chat, right? So the idea by MLK is that love can effectuate social change, right? We are right now, right, in a context of social change. We are asking for change on many levels, right? Martin Luther King says the best way, the most powerful way to move forward and to make this change is to come from a place of love, right? And not from a place of anger or bitterness, right? So he's saying if you really want to have an impact, you need to come from that place of love. Now, my question is he being naive, right? Is it realistic? What are his arguments, right? He does give arguments for this, right? That's what I want to hear, right? What are his arguments? How will he convince you that this is true, right? That in a way, if you want to make change, you can't come from a position of anger or violence, right? For him, that doesn't work. What works is coming from a place of love. Now, does this work? Is he realistic? Is he being naive? Examples, arguments, right? In addition to the arguments, I want examples, right? He gives examples also. Does that make sense? That's what I want to see in that last question. Any questions on that last question? Okay, so that's what you guys work on, right? So you work on, so this weekend we have the test. Yes, the Rigorite question, the ethics of sex is what we just did. Oh, and 2B2, yes, I didn't talk about that. No, it's not there. It's just ethics of sex. That's the first hour. Yeah, that's all. You can actually just talk about the first hour of the lecture. Everything we talked about needs to be in that question. And then, so for this weekend, you have Buber, wait, what do you have this weekend? Buber and Kierkegaard, right? So you have that test with the essay. And then next week, you read Martin Luther King, you do the question, you do the test question for Irigaray, you do the essay, and all of your late work. And I need it in my folders before midnight on Saturday, because I need to put in the grades on Sunday. So yeah, Tessia Miller?
Okay, so just to recap with the whole course, to get all the reading assignments in by next Saturday, but then you sat, so there's no final exam then, but you said if you attended all the classes, you wouldn't have to take the final exam. So
Yes.
Is that still the same?
Yeah,
Or
if you miss too many classes, you take the final exam. Let me tell you who you are. Most likely you're not in this room, but let me just say it. So Bello, Bindel, Boparai, Green, Kanai, Kirchner, Soleiman, Malita, Tettelman. Those are the people that have to take the final exam. So none of you, oh, that's Bella, that's not Bello. Yeah, so I don't think any of the people I mentioned are here. So hopefully they'll hear this. So let's see, I have a question in the chat. So for next week, you want a test and an essay on Irigaray, okay? You want a reading assignment? No, I'm okay without a reading assignment for MLK. Yeah, that's a good question. No, since we're not meeting, no need. You can skip the reading assignment. Just work directly on the test question. Good, that's a good question. Any other questions? Okay, good. Oh, so this is it. This is our last time together. I'm sad. I'll miss you guys. But before we go, I want to invite you for, in the fall, I'm teaching 2 interesting classes that you might like. I'm doing similar class, but philosophy of religion. And we're talking about the problem of suffering. If God exists, why is there so much pain and so much suffering? That's the problem we're going to be looking at. And we'll do something similar. We'll be doing 7 texts. We'll do the Book of Job, Maimonides, Rumi, Nietzsche, Marcel, Levinas, and Simone Weil. So same format, same idea. So you are cordially invited for that course. This is PHIL 116. It says Philosophy of Religion. So that's one course that's also like this one. It's not upper level, it's just kind of basic. So that's a really interesting course. And the other one is an upper level course. So it's going to be a little harder, but it's called Modern 2. And there, it's a course, very special course actually, that I designed right after the election in 2016. Because of the rise of xenophobia, the rise of racist incidents, the whole language about immigration, immigrants. So I designed the course, and it's really a course on the stranger, the concept of the stranger, and why we need the stranger in our lives, right? So you can apply this to immigration, to race, whatever, right? Even relations, right? Relationships. So it's going to be a very interesting course because we'll be doing some non-Western philosophers for one. So we'll start with a good Western one. We'll start with Kant. And then we'll veer off into Buber, Levinas, and we'll do a South African philosopher also, Shati, and then more Irigaray. So that's an interesting upper level class. It's a little more technical than this one. But I think with this class, you already have a good basis to follow in that one. And the main idea will be really why we need the stranger in our lives, right? What is it about the stranger that really builds us up as human beings? So any questions on these 2 classes that I'll be teaching online in the fall? Okay, and you're totally invited. It would be nice to see some of you again. Mila, you have your hand up, Tessia Mila?
Yes. Do you know if they'll be offering online only? Like, do you know, as well, especially for the philosophy department, are any of the classes in person or they're all online?
We're all online. It's only like dance, theater, labs that are going to be in person, but we are all online. Yep. For philosophy. Okay.
I thought that there would not be any more in-person classes.
Only for like really necessary, like for theater, theater you can't do online.
Yeah.
Or dance or laboratories, right? So physics, chemistry labs, I think they'll allow. That's what I heard. But for the rest of us, we're all online.
Okay, thank you.
Lo, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing any assignments.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let me conclude, and whoever has question like Lo, you can stay afterwards. Any other questions general though, before I turn off the recording? Okay.